Shalom, shalom. Let me just send this out. I had a couple of technical difficulties here a minute ago, but hopefully we can get this going. There we go, there we go. Okay, hold up. Yep, there we go. Just continue to bear with me because this messed up earlier. Hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to get this to work. It just messed up. All right, Salakia, man. It was all acting weird. All right, but hey, 144. There we go. Call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, because I got it to work just now. But first and foremost, I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. All right, peace and salutations, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, which are holding their conduct, composure, and integrity. All right, you know, as the scriptures say, man, we are not of those that draw back unto perdition. We don't draw up, things that we've destroyed in this time, which is cutting off attachments, mortifying ourselves, okay, getting lost to, in this world, basically. But as you can see in the title, you must sacrifice your attachment. Really, I think I named it, you must be willing to sacrifice your attachment in this time. But, YouTube has a character length. But, yeah, man, literally what the title says, man. Okay. Look, something that happens with, particularly, Jake, growing up in the truth, growing up in the faith, to younger Jakes, is they come across, it's usually, I'm not going to say it's always on like the third, fourth year, but I mean, you got the number 3, which represents understanding, and if you make it past, because usually brothers, when they come up and grow, they usually start going through things, a lot of things in this truth, around the 3-year, 4-year mark. And that's also where brothers tend to get the spotlight on them, because it shows whether they're, being sincere to commit, or if they're allowing the world, to still, tangle them up and, get them frustrated and all that. Which, yeah, we understand that the world is going to do that to you, but you ever notice that friction is caused because you're trying to hold on to something, or you're trying to control the situation? If one thing I've learned in this truth, man, we're not in control. All right. But the Lord does give every man to his like, so if your spirit is sincerely about trying to do the right thing in this time, rehearsing the righteous acts, striving for the truth until death, then the Lord is going to direct your steps in that direction. But if it's being made known that you're more about this world and the attachments that come with it, then the Lord's gonna, not make it past that mercy mark. All right. But I want to read this precept. All right. This is Luke chapter 14 and verse 26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And that right there just clarifies it all, man. We were called to be disciples, all right? Which a disciple goes back to the word discipline. We were called to be disciplined in this truth, all right? We weren't here to get tangled up, all right? Scripture should start running it through your mind now. A man at war doesn't entangle himself with the affairs of this life. He doesn't get tangled up with the attachments, that, are weak and mortal, mortal anxieties. Okay. When you go into 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, it tells you, if you look it up in the Good News translation, it'll tell you, let go from the anxieties of man. The things, basically things that don't even matter. We're in this flesh, and our flesh finds an attachment or a cleaving with these things that really, they throw you off. All right. The main one could be to use the woman, man. The woman, will say things that you're fighting, but she'll say them. That's, but we're in this time to be able to cut those attachments away. And, I did a video last week, and a lot of brothers saw it, but I ended up bringing out that I personally knew what it felt like to, play around with doing the work. All right. Years back. All right. I stopped doing the work for a minute, and I was terrified, but I was also waiting for every day around the corner where the Lord was going to jack me up, and he did. But another thing that I know about, and that I'm pretty sure a lot of you brothers can give, brothers that have been in this thing for a minute, can give their enlightenment, from their experiences. We can tell you, man, that we've had attachments in this time. Okay. And I, for one, I can tell you on my behalf that I've had things that I got attached to, man. And it wasn't a good outcome. The outcome is good because I'm still doing the work, and, by the mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, Lord willing, I continue. But that situation, had not the Lord intervened as I had prayed for, I wouldn't have been able to get myself out of the situation. Being in this troop for as many years as I've been in it, which, I mean, I don't put that as a pedestal, man. But being in this truth and experiencing quite a bit, a lot of situations that I dealt with, I built an attachment to. And there's a proper way to do it, and there's a proper way not to. But when you find yourself fully invested, and you find that the time that you're committing to the ministry is lacking, or you're not able to make as much time as you used to, that's because perhaps the world could be, because we have our life. We all have jobs, or we have things that we do, but for the most part, if you're having things allowing you to be hindered, okay, then that's when it becomes an issue. That's how you can tell, like, reevaluate, because I could be getting attached. But the scriptures clearly say, man, that if any man come to Yahweh Shai and hate not his father, all the way down to his sisters and brethren, even his own life, that's just talking about if you ain't willing to let it go when the time is required. Okay. See, we weren't called, again, to lavish and, serenade amongst what man does in this time, because the scriptures tell you that time is to come. This time we're being tested with loyalty and commitment. All right, the condition of the battle. And that word, when you go into condition, okay, because I pulled it up, man, it talks about the state of something with regard to its appearance, quality, or working order. Simply the Lord, and you got to see it like this, man. When you see things in a simple way, it's easy, it's simple to understand. Where's that scripture where Paul had said, through the simplicity of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach? If you can make it easy to understand, it's going to be easy to do. And Yahweh Shah made things clear to us, okay? He told us, man, what we're supposed to do in this time. What we if presented that test, all right, when the time comes, if we got to sacrifice or let things go, we got to be willing, all right? But if you can't, well, basically you got to show the Lord that, hold on, that you don't look to this world to depend on, all right? That you don't validate, your value, your worth, and how you move as the world being a dependent for that. We're not supposed to lean on the world, all right? The scriptures talk about using the world, but not abusing it. But if you become solely dependent on the world, and it doesn't just have to be, you don't have to physically say, well, I depend on you. No, man, it's how you're acting with it. The brother, said something earlier, man, about these other men, but he said that they were acting weird. You can tell when things are weird, all right, when it really shouldn't be how it should be. Your behavior becomes off. You slip a little bit more, all right. You slip a lot more, but you're not supposed to depend on this world. We're here to show Yahweh Shai that we can cut these things, which the Lord made us. He said that the creature is subject to vanity. We're made to love these things. We're made to want to put all our time into a family. We're made to want to watch our daughters and sons grow up, and they come, they grow up and they come to us and, Dad and Mom, I still love you, and let's have, let's eat together. We're made to be like that. But this is not the time to do that. See, there's a battle going on. There's a war, okay? We're having to show the Lord, because think about it. When Yahweh first started out with Israel, when he first started, trying to set our people up, we went off right away. Remember, going back to Mount Sinai, when Moses went up for a season, he came back. Yahweh himself had to tell Moses, like, hey, bro, go back down, because I'm about to kill our people. And, basically he's like, because they went into idolatry. Yahweh was setting up order for our people through Moses. And when Moses came back down, we were already destroyed. We were gone into idolatry. That's why Moses set the Levites up to kill all of those that had worshipped the golden calf. Okay? The Lord was trying to give us structure, and he was trying to introduce himself, basically. When he told Moses to go to the children of Israel back in Egypt, he said, yeah, let them know. Let them know my name is Yahweh. He is. That's my name, and that's my name forever. Let them know. And so the Lord was working up, he wanted to make an entrance. Like, this is me. This is who I am. If you will but worship and follow and obey me, I'll give you all this. And Israel was already going off. So there's other things at play why we can't find emotional or, attachments to this world, okay? So I actually looked something up, all right? And I typed in, can being attached be a bad thing? And I got a couple of things, and because, like I said, and this is not just about your, it should always lead to how we conduct in this ministry, all right? How you interact with your outside life does reflect. It really does. We can discern through at certain brothers, how they're acting outside of the ministry, because it shows when they come back that they weren't acting as wise as they should be, when they go out by themselves. All right. But that all comes from how wisely you're giving your time to things. All right. So right here it said, can being attached be a bad thing? Or being attached can be bad. And it said, unhealthy emotional attachment occurs when you solely rely on a relationship to define your worth, your valor, and lovability. That, I didn't say that, but that's true. All right. Do you love the world, or do you love the Lord? And we show the Lord daily by our actions if we love him or not. The 1 John 5:3. But your worth, because your worth is going to be determined in this time by the amount of time and diligence that you gave to the ministry. See, everything matters about, everything should be applied when it comes to the ministry. Okay. See, you may think that you're sacrificing things, in your life, but you come to the ministry, you can't sacrifice at all. So you get these things mixed up, not realizing that your real sacrifice comes through sacrificing with the brotherhood. All right. And this has been a topic that's been coming around again lately, because you got young Jakes, man, that they get full of themselves. All right. They think that they're supplying, being a brother, which ain't to say that you're not, but you can put in more. See, you can put in more time. You can spend more time with the brother. You can dedicate a day. You can dedicate a few hours. Just a few hours. Instead of going to pick your baby mama up, spend time with a fucking brother, man. If a brother needs aid, you should really be right there waiting. Hoping that this thing, and man, I say this stuff all the time, man. It almost feels like, okay, bro, you're making another video about this stuff, but this stuff needs to be talked about, okay? Because Jake is missing big, what are really big things in this truth. All right, what about the account with Ananias and Sapphira? All right, in the book of Acts, when everybody came together, because I believe there was a famine, right? Or famine going on. And, Ananias and Sapphira came in and they said to Peter that they parted their land for a certain amount, but they were really lying. They were holding back. Okay? And what did the Spirit do? What did Peter say, man? That the Spirit, he said to the Spirit that your life was going to be required right then and there for lying. And that was off a lie, man. One lie. Was that wrong? Was that harsh? Was that extensive? No. But we come in, us brothers, man, you have a man rebuking you to do more, to push more, and you get offended. See? Would you rather the Lord kill you on the spot? This day your life will be required because the Lord's tired of you not giving more to him. All right. The Lord is a jealous power and he requires his time. All right. And actually, it's like what, you calculate, what is it, the 10%? It's like 2 hours and 10 or 30 something minutes, right? But every day you're supposed to actually get that much time. On top of that, you got praying to the Lord. All right. You got angels in the heavens, man, that are praying, that are nonstop, 24/7, never ceasing from extolling Yahweh Shai. All right. But to commit in this time is Jake's worst enemy, That's why, again, having we see where men's heart is at. All right. And so the point of this is that you got to learn to let shit go. Jake wants to control the situation. He wants to control his path, but you forget we are not in control of anything. Okay? You don't even know if your life is guaranteed to see through whatever it is you're trying to do with your woman or your son or your daughter, your life, your job, whatever. Okay? The ultimate thing you're supposed to be doing is to trust. You leave it in the Lord's hands, and hopefully He'll work these things out for you. But if you're found out that you're asking of these things because you want your desire, which is, let me just tell you real quick, man. I'm gonna give you this example again. I had that issue happen. Before this all happened, man, I had an attachment where I was living back in this other city. All right. And I had certain things going for me. And when it was ended, it hurt. All right. I'm going to tell you the truth. I cried. All right. I fucking cried, man. Like a man, tears were coming out my eyeballs and everything. And I was crying. I was depressed. I laid in bed all day. And this is just a little over a year ago, a year and a few months. And I was, man, I cried to 1, 2, 3. I cried to 3 brothers. and the final one, he was actually the first one that I spoke to, and he suffered me the first time because he understood. And this is not, and you can't act like a brother doesn't understand. There's a reason why you got men that have been in this truth more years than you have, man, because they've gone through those experiences. They've had firsthand knowledge before you did to see how what the outcome was of being attached, playing with the Lord, fucking around with the Lord, not doing the work, putting too much time to the woman or to the family or to his own livelihood. We've had these experiences to show that it took us away, man. It was taking us into a bad area. Because ultimately, I asked this question to the brother last night. I said, can you essentially say that if the decisions that we did not make, the reason we did not make them in this time is because they would have destroyed us? That's actually true. All right. There's a reason why you didn't make that choice. There's a reason why the other option didn't happen, because where would it take you? More than likely it would destroy you. You got to remember, man, the Lord, Yahweh, man, it said that he had found out all the way of knowledge, man. He had all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that his understanding is infinite. So he played out, you got to vision that he played out scenarios for your life. Okay, if I allow him to walk, like if you're an elect, that is. If you're an elect, you got to understand he played out your life in different scenarios. And I like to use that example because a lot of people have seen the movie Avengers Infinity War. The first part of the last movie where they had to fight Thanos. And Doctor Strange, he's sitting there and he has the time ring and he's going through every possible scenario to see how they can beat Thanos. And Tony Stark asked him, like, how many? And he said 14,701,000 or some shit. But he said, out of that many possibilities, only one is where they actually beat Thanos. It's the same way with this truth. There's only one path, man, that the Lord could take you and put you through, that you will not fall, that you won't fold, and ultimately you will make it through everything. But that requires disconnection, all right? That requires mortifying, all right? Denying, okay? See, you know, the scriptures, in fact, let me go ahead and get this precept, all right? The scriptures, you know, define that we're supposed to, hold on, let me see, at least that'd be full, there you go. The scriptures define, you know, our layout on how we should be acting with this thing. Not too much, not too little, all right? Just right. This is Proverbs chapter 30. And in 7, it says, 2 things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. See, vanity essentially is everything in your life, all right? When you understand your true purpose in this thing, you know, what did it say? For you see your calling. So you were called for this job, for this particular job, okay? And this particular job requires you to do certain things. You know, it's just like at a job interview, when the boss asks, you know, he'll ask, well, can you do this? Would you be able to do this? Or do you need a, you know, ask like, do you need certain accommodations to get the job done? And you could say yeah. And granted, they'll still end up giving you the job, but sometimes they don't. But they'll ask you, you know, can you perform these functions? You know, is this something that you think you can do? You know, because when you go into when you go into Luke, back to the 14th chapter, it'll say, you know, what man, you know, in fact, I'll get that one too, Salakia, man. And then I'll go back to the one in Proverbs. Luke 14 and 20, I'll jump to verse 28. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? It says, least happily after he had laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, and that behold it, and all that behold it begin to mock him. But the first part is in the beginning. You know, for which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it? And that's the same way with the Lord. The Lord asks, can you do this job? Can you perform these functions? Well, this job, you know, right here, you know, you gotta, should require you to get a little dirty, but, you know, if you can do that, if you can tolerate dust, you like working around metal, okay, cool. All right, well, then let's start, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, the Lord asked you, man. He asked you when he called you. Is this something you want to do? Can you do it? You know, the scriptures talked about it. You know, many are called, but few are chosen. The many that are called in the future, and the ones that are not chosen, you know, is everybody outside of this truth. The 2/3, man. They had opportunity when we were out there on the highway and the byways to hear this calling, but they didn't. You know, but a lot of people, man, they can't. One thing too, man, about Jake, man, they can't cut their ego. You know, this worm ass reputation that they think they got, you know, gets in the way too. They cannot cut attachments. They're more worried about a reputation, how people are going to look at them, how their family's going to react. And if you know, family does buck up and they try to get threatened about something in the family, about their kid or something, they get lost with it, man. And that happens to even Jake in this thing, man. And that's why we try to tell you before it happens, like, you know, I believe you should do it like this, do it like that. You know, when you have a woman oppressing you and using your child against you, clearly you got to cut her off. All right. You don't simp out and try to work your own, you know, little thing because you still can't bear the thought of letting it go, man. If it has to be let go for a time, you got to let these things go. Okay. Now this lesson's talking about sacrifice, and I'm talking about letting things go, but it was really meant to be about cutting things out right now so you can serve more in the ministry. Because, man, we always tell you, man, that these times are wrapping up. And these are the worst times to be getting caught up with these simple ass temptations that you know, we've had a multitude already experience these things, and you new jakes that are coming in, man, y'all acting like buttholes when we try to admonish you about them. And you gotta stop. You really do, man. You gotta stop bucking up, man, thinking that you on some Gen 5 shit, man. Like, it has to stop, because like I was gonna say, man, if I've learned anything about attachment in this time, man, I will flat out tell you, man, you do not want to go that way either. Like I said, man, if you want examples about things not to do in this truth, man, I can give you some personally. All right. Lord willing, I've learned my lesson, man. I do maneuver. I do in the water I do maneuver a lot differently than what I used to, man. And that's because I found out the hard way. See, Jake won't listen until he find out the hard way, man. And even a brother made this video a few months ago, man. He titled the lesson, if you can't sacrifice, you'll be the sacrificed. And that's going to be the truth. If you can't sacrifice some simple ass family time, or you can't sacrifice going to pick up your son, or see him on today, when you're being presented with the opportunity to do the work, the Lord's he's gonna take these things from you, and it's not going to be in a friendly manner, man. See, doing things willingly, like Paul talked about, if you do this thing willingly, there's a reward. But if against your will, you better be prepared for the Lord to rip that motherfucker off like a mean ass Band-Aid, and it's gonna hurt. Like I said, just a little over a year ago, when I lost my house, I lost my apartment, and I had the life that I had down there, and when I lost other certain things that I won't get too personal with, man, but it was enough. And brothers know this, man. Brothers that I deal with, they know my story, and they also, and like I said, 3 brothers saw firsthand what it did to me. I was bugging out on it, I didn't like it. But I did pray to the Lord. I said that if there was ever a time in this truth, if I end up getting too attached to something and I can't let it go by myself, while you're giving me the chance to do that, Baba Kusha, do it for me. And he did it. Did I want it at the time? No, I did not. I still have dreams. Shit, I just had a dream about it yesterday. I've been having these recurring dreams daily now. And it's just, them spirits fucking with me, trying to taunt me. But whew, man, it was, I was crying. I was laying in bed all day. I had to fight. Here's another thing with wrong emotional attachment. I had to fight in my mind to not utter shit. Not that I was going to, because I do fear Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the aspect. I know damn well you better not talk shit against the Lord, man. But I had to rebuke these thoughts of depression and trying to justify that, what did I do to deserve it, man? But shit, man. I mean, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahshua, man, that, I came out of that situation. But like I said, we've got men that have been in this thing enough now, or long enough now, to guide you younger Jakes. You younger Jakes just need to trust more, man. Y'all need to trust that Yahweh Shah is working through us. All right? We're not here to dictate your life or to force you to do something, man, but we're also saving your soul, potentially saving your soul. Because we went through those things. We fell into the fire. All right? And but by the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shah, he got us out. All just to be an example. All right? To be an example for you younger Jakes when y'all come into this truth. We're telling you, man, as like the scriptures tell us, man, we're supposed to father and shepherd you, man. We're here to guide you. All right? We're supposed to know the estate of our flock. Check it out, man. I know y'all heard it the other day. I got 46 chickens, man. All right? And I know every single one of them, and I know how many I have of each that are supposed to be in this coop that I made them over here. And I got 8 turkeys. I got 8 more in the house. Growing up, all of them growing up, but I know exactly what I'm supposed to have, man. And I will know for a fact if one of them is missing, and I will go out and walk around to find it. I do every single night. Some of these little chickens I just put out, they like to sleep outside, and I can't have that because I got coyotes. There are bears. I don't know if the deer will eat them, but you got wild animals out here as well, other like turkeys and everything. So they'll come under this yard, man, and they'll fucking eat the chicken. Or you got wild dogs. The main thing is coyotes. But it's my responsibility to take care of them and make sure they're safe. That's what we're doing in this ministry, man. And check this out. I told a brother this. An immature and young turkey, if it's a male, actually are called Jakes. All right? a child or a small, immature, so meaning not fully grown turkey, they're called jakes. And then when they grow up to adult size, they're called a tom. So, I was thinking about that because like, oh, we call Jake a lot, but I'm not out there calling Jake, to say that you're immature. But yeah, don't be a turkey. Yeah, man. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Hey, man. The water for the precepts, by the way, is, man, always, man, always hitting on point. Hey, Job 33:16, it said, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Do you know that instruction means direction? All right? Instruction is led to direction. And that's what we're trying to do with Jake as well in this time. Give proper direction. All right? I love quoting the first chapter of Proverbs when it talks about giving the young man knowledge and discretion, instruction, and it tells you to receive it. Because, again, it's getting to a point where if Jake doesn't start turning and and taking heed, then the Lord's going to step in. And this is the thing, man. The Lord is a loving and compassionate power, and he's very merciful. The scriptures tell you, Micah, Amos, it tells you that he is tender in loving kindness and mercy. Even the prayer for forgiveness, which I advise every brother to always say that prayer when they pray, Psalms 51. Have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, according to thy loving kindness, according to thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. According to thy tender mercies, Salaki. So it's actually, have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, according to thy loving kindness, according unto thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquities and cleanse me from my sins. It'll say, against thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight. But anyways, what I'm getting at is, yeah, the Lord is loving, but he's not going to be loving if he has to come and intervene in your life on something that you should be actually learning how to handle the proper way. See, Jake is more about, leisure activities or just lounging around, man. But this time is called, we're required to work. We're required to do a job and work. All right. And Jake feel like their life supersedes what is done in this ministry. It doesn't, man. It says, hold on. Where's that one you posted, man? Job 33:17, that he may withdraw man from his purpose. Because you thinking your purpose is to be a family guy, family time, right? No, you're here to, hey, Kinsey, I'll be back. Where are you going? I gotta go do some work. But when she does that noise, that's when you say, nope, I'm going. I got shit to do. So you ain't supposed to get stunned and simped out and, okay, babe, I'll come back to bed. Okay, babe. Or seduced. You're supposed to have the power to say no, and you can use your imagination. You should know what I'm talking about. But when these things come, you should be able to withdraw yourself to do the Lord's purpose, which the Lord's purpose is for you to go out to the highways and hedges and to put out some work. All right. Present your body a living sacrifice for him. All right. Deny your appetite, because we always hungry. All right. And really have faith that that there's a time coming where you're going to allow to do what you were made to do in the kingdom as much as you want. That's a big promise, man. All you got to do is just, man, look how quick the times are going now in this time, man. All you got to do is say no to, all you got to do is put in 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, or however long you feel, and put something out for the Lord, man. Like Apostle Gabar, man, say he's we're the Lord's woman. So we gotta go out there and shake our ass for him, man. We trying to win the Heavenly Father and his Son back, man. Yahweh Shai is our husband, but you gotta remember, you got Yahweh up there, man. And we gotta woo them right now. And it's by the foolishness of preaching that, Yahweh Shai find delight in. Let's see. 1 Chronicles 16:34 says, "Give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endure forever." Yeah, man. But there's a fine line between that, man. The thing that we always preached against Jake, coming in these early years, like from 2008 to like 2012, 2013, 2015 maybe. We were telling Jake, like, you got to stop coming to the Lord thinking, or you got to start coming to the Lord because you want some shit, man. You should come to the Lord because you want to serve, and you can remember that you went off and now you're here to do a job. Because I had this one big black lady one time, man, back in like 2013, man. And me and dude back in Texas were out there preaching, and this woman's walking by with a cart, and we're like, she's watching us. She's like, "Oh, yeah, Jesus, man, he helped us out, man. He gave me, I think she said like $1,000 or $1,400. Got my $14,000 or $1,000 or $1,400 check last night. I got groceries." And she thought she was on cloud nine with it, man. She thought the Lord was great because she got what she wanted. That's not how it goes, man. Hey, I think a brother posted. Yeah, hold on. I thought a brother posted in James. Hold on. No. James talking about 11, but I'm thinking about the one in James where it talked about that a man take joy in diverse temptations. That's what you should be looking at and being like, good. How did I do? How did I do, Lord? Did I sacrifice well for you? Did I show, brotherly kindness? Did I show charity? Was the time adequate that I gave to a brother today? Did that suffice? These are the questions you should be asking, not, damn, when are we going to get done with camp? Hey, man, or what time did we get done with camp? Man, if the Spirit has you to go longer than what you go, you're going to go, Hey, Job 2:10, that's a good precept. The water says, "But he said unto her, you speak as one of the foolish women speaks." Yeah, I was using that example earlier with the woman, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to turn this. It says, "What? Shall we receive good at the hand of Yahweh? And shall we not receive evil?" This in the aspect, man, like I said, man is made to love spending time with his wife. He's made to love spending time with his daughters. He's made to love making daughters and sons. All right. He's made to love the earth. He's made to want to put his hand to the plow and his hand to labor and rejoice in his labor. But this is just not that time right now, man. That time was never set up. Like I said, the Lord was trying to work with us, all right, in the beginning. And he never was able to do that. We never had that time, nor was that time ever solidified between us and Yahweh. Look at our people, man. More than half of our people don't know the Lord. All right. And yeah, more than half of our people don't know the Lord. And that includes these other camps that are teaching false doctrine, but they claiming to have the names and all that. Okay. See, the Lord has not set up, ultimate dependency on him on our behalf. Yeah, I think if I said that right. Because like I said, if you can't be depending on this world. That's what a bad attachment becomes. All right. So hey, let me read it again in Luke the 14th chapter. All right. This is Luke 14. I'm going to read 27 as well. Luke 14:26. "If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple." It says he cannot be my disciple. Like, again, man, you got to choose a side, man. And I'm going to say this, man. You had other prophets outside of just from who was the first prophet mentioned in the book, in the Bible? Was it Joshua? From Genesis all the way down to Revelation. I'll just say it like that. But those certain books by, Joshua, Ezra, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Philemon, Mark, Luke, John, there was more than just all these prophets that are written about in the scriptures. You had what was called minor prophets. men that were men of the Lord that aren't mentioned in the scriptures. Does that mean they're not elect? No, but I guarantee you this. Because there's 144,000 prophets, right? There's 144,000. Okay, I guarantee you this, because and I'm gonna be very clear. I'm gonna make this very, very clear. Is there 144,000 books in the Bible right now? No, you got basically the major prophet books. Okay, but I guarantee you this, that the men of the Lord that were not mentioned in books, or that we just haven't heard about, in history, I guarantee you they were all doing the work. There ain't one man of the Lord, man, that's called a man of the Lord. There ain't one elect that is how do I say it? There's not one man of the Lord in this thing that's going to say that they ain't got to do the work. The Lord commanded you to do these things, man, regardless of whether it looks stupid or foolish or nerdy, or you're not going to be saved by going out, doing videos, blah, blah, blah. If you have that mindset, man, you ain't an elect. All right. If you talking shit about doing the work, you ain't an elect. We've all been called to do the work. Can you fill that job? Can you fill that position? All right. And that position requires a certain condition. Again, it's something in a state in regards to working order. Okay. And let me see. This is the definition of sacrifice. Right here. Hold on. Right here. The word sacrifice means an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. Jake thinks that spending time with their family has value. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Not in this time. You got your children and your woman under the curses. All right. So it's impossible to make them righteous in the time that you spend with them to be truly valuable. Okay. The true value is going to happen when we're in the kingdom. Now, I'm not saying totally just, do this and do that. Every brother does have a certain walk of life to an extent. But when it comes to cutting out an emotional attachment, you need to be able to cut that attachment away. All right. That is the Lord, either the Lord trying to take something away from you so that you can focus more on him, or he's taking it away because it's going to end up destroying you in the end. All right. So yeah, man, you can't be hard-headed against this thing. All right. But it says, yeah, you know what? That's a good one. 1 Corinthians 7:29. It's, you know what? Nope. I'm going to read this one, man. I wanted to get this one earlier. It says, Matthew 10:38 through verse 39. It says, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is that how it's supposed to be said? Hold on. I'll just go ahead and pull it up. Matthew 10 and 38. Well, it's the same thing. Verse 37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. All right. If you depend on that attachment more than the Lord, than being attached to the Lord, you are not worthy of the Lord. It says, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Hey, man, to be honest, to be totally honest, we're in the times where letting these things go rather than fight them are kind of more wise, because, man, you don't want to be focusing on trying to work something, man, with a broken relationship, man. Like, after a certain point, if it's damaged to a certain point, man, it's not even worth fixing it, man, because you're just gonna be in a toxic relationship or just in a toxic situation. That's another thing I can give you an example about. I'm pretty sure y'all all have those. I had a very toxic relationship, man, and I found myself, there's something called well, I won't even mention that, but there's a type of ruin. Just look up different types of ruins, and that's essentially what happened with me with this relationship. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I personally found out the hard way, man. I gave time to women, certain women in this ministry. All right. I gave certain times, to my own, desires, to my own routine. All right. trying to fight, through the system for something. All right. And it didn't end well, man. And really at the end of I didn't get what I wanted. Because again, we're not here to get what we want. We're here to deny that we're here to lose. All right. We're here in this time to lose. And if you can't get that through your head, man, you're not going to make it, because you're going to have to be willing to let it all go anyways in the end. The brother posted 1 Corinthians 7:29, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. And that's the point, man. At this point in time, man, you should really have more of a motivated and push to say, nah, fuck it. I'm not, leave me alone. Fuck that. Nah, I ain't gonna deal with that shit. Nah, I got a job to do. I got to do the work. We're in the times where pushing even more hard is being called for. All right. That weak shit needs to go out the window, man. Men who are about trying to fight for their kids right now. I had 6 kids. That's something I can tell you about. I have 6 kids. I don't have any of them with me. All right. And if y'all ever want to know personally what happened, I will gladly tell you. But the circumstances led to, I don't have any of my kids in my life. And I'll make this very clear. I'm not the bad guy in this story. And there's actually someone who is a bad person in the story, man. It was my baby mamas. All right. And I'm not saying that to justify myself. This is the truth. All right. I'm not the one who got Child Protective Services called on me. So anyways, but the Lord worked it out the way he worked it out. And really, I thank the Lord for it. It would have been difficult. All right. But, I cried when my kids were gone. Brother, I've told brothers about this too, man. Certain brothers that know me, they know. I told them, when back in Texas, when really the life that I had going, that ended, I had 3 of my kids and they left, and I cried for 3 days, 3 nights. I didn't eat anything. I lost a lot. I lost quite a bit of weight. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I didn't do shit. I cried all day. And I had someone there, comforting, me, a man who I thought was, a friend, but that nigga's gonna die. So fuck him. Yeah, man, but I got over it. My kids ain't here anymore. I don't deal with them. I know that the Lord is taking care of them, man, because I've heard words here and now and then. I'll get a report back eventually that, he's growing up. He's nice. And, they're growing up. They're nice. They look good. They're really well behaved. Good. Okay, cool. Good. I just pray to Yahweh Shem Yahshua that I'll get them in the kingdom. And that's what you should be doing. Pray that you get whatever you want right now, man. Pray for it to be in the kingdom. All right. Oh my goodness. These scriptures are here for a reason, man. Job, look at him. Lost it all, got it all back double fold. Peter asked the question, what do we do for losing all things in this time? You get 100-fold in the kingdom. You can get the same person in this time, man. The same woman, son, daughter, whoever. You can get them in the kingdom and in their right mind. No crooked teeth, no cellulite, no bicycle handle gear, fucking, what do they call those things? Love handles. Not having a badass attitude. Your kids, you're not gonna have to worry about them. The scriptures talk about the old shall watch the young play in the streets. It's just about denying your flesh in this time. All right. Mark 4:18 says, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. See, you cannot love this world and mammon, or you cannot love the Lord and mammon, Salakia. All right. So, like Joshua said, man, choose you this day whom you will serve, man. Pick a side, God damn it. Pick a side. Because like I said, very soon, rest assured, man, the Lord's going to step in here very soon, man. And it ain't going to be pretty. All right. And you're going to have nobody else to blame but yourself. Because you had direction. You were told multiple times to, maneuver a certain way, man, that would ultimately lead to, how do you call it, like a flourished outlook. Yeah, man. But understand we're also here to lose for it, man. You know, just younger Jakes need to learn to trust the older brothers that have been in this thing. All right, because like I said, we've been through it. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. There's actually, I wish I could actually go a lot longer, man, but I don't want to draw this out too much. Maybe I'll make a second part because there is more I want to say. But just if you find yourself having an attachment to where you feel like you're depending on these things, then, you know, adjust. And if you can't adjust, cut it off. If you're trying to fight for your son, your daughter, your woman, cut it off. Cut it out. It ain't worth it right now. You'll get it back in the kingdom, man, if you're an elect. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. Salakia for being long-winded. But I'm going to go ahead and end it. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love, honors and blessings to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Hey, hold your wits. Keep your integrity, man. Keep your firmness towards Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Hey, but with that, hey, did you just tune in, man? I'm ending it. But hey, with that, all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and much love. Hey, the water for tuning in, and let's continue to be edified. With that, Yahweh, Bahashem, Shabbat, Kwame Shalom.